Hi guys, Durrantula90's here again. Welcome back to the channel. So, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be showing off my entire GameCube collection.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
So, if you've seen my room tour, you know that I have a Indigo Gamecube. You also know I have the Game Boy Player, so it allows me to play Game Boy Advance games on it, which I've actually found really exciting since I owned one. And I've also got a couple of memory cards to go with that, as well as obviously a Indigo control pad. At the moment, I'm standing on 24 GameCube games in my collection.
What did you say?
Well, not literally. There's 3 games that I did have that I got rid of that I want to get again because they didn't have the manual. And as you know, if it's not got a manual and it needs to have a manual in there, then it's not going in my collection. Pokemon Colosseum, Super Mario Sunshine, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Full-Spectrum Kingdom are the ones that I plan to get again that are going to go in my collection with a manual this time. Also, Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle were 2 that I had in my GameCube collection, but I got rid of them because I wanted to be traditional and own them on the Dreamcast where they originally came out on. So yeah, I traded them in a while back. But yeah, enough about that. So without further ado, let's go on to the GameCube games themselves.
2 seconds later.
So first off, we've got Mario Kart Double Dash. Is there anything more iconic than Double Dash? Well, there probably is. It's a great game. Took it on holiday with my friends. Really had a blast playing it. Really enjoyed it so much. Definitely a different take on Mario Kart, but very enjoyable all the same. Next game is probably one of the most, if not the most iconic game in the GameCube library, and that is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now, I took this on holiday as well. Wasn't enjoyable as much, not because it's not a good game, because of course it's an amazing game obviously, but because I don't think any of us really played it as a kid, Super Smash Bros. So playing this for the first time was definitely very strange. Definitely a really enjoyable game though. Next up is a game that is very unique and something that's really caught my eye, and that is Lost Kingdoms. Using these creatures, summoning them in order to battle for you, etc. I do like that concept. Very interesting. The gameplay looked fantastic. Can't wait to play it. It's going to be really enjoyable. Next up is a game that I didn't think I was going to own originally. Looking at the reviews and stuff, but looking at the gameplay and just like having a more look at what people thought of the game, I really kind of thought it'd be a good thing to get, and that is Taz Wanted. Cel-shaded graphics, really looks really fun to play. Who doesn't love spinning around as Taz? Great throwback to your childhood, and really cheap as well, so really happy with that. Next game is my most expensive GameCube game that I own. It's also probably the most expensive game in my collection, so you've seen it before. That's Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. It plays obviously a lot like Pokemon Colosseum, being as it's the sequel, but also incredibly different. And that's a very good thing though. Really enjoyed it, really happy I own it now. So many times I thought to myself, well, I could get so much for the trade-in value that it is. Now it's still sitting on £175. They sell it for, so it's like £131 trade-in. But I'm not going to want to try and get it again, especially when I've already played it now. So it means that I'm going to have to pick it up. If I did that, I'd have to pick it up again, paying however much it's going to be at that time. And I've already played it, so it's not going to be the most enjoyable of purchases. I think it's much more enjoyable to buy a game when you've never played it before. So that's my thoughts. Next up, we've got Shrek 2. Very interesting, little fun go around, I think, on this game. Just switching between the characters, and you can play as a team of 4, so you can have up to 4 players, which I think is cool. Not 100% sure I'll ever play it as 4-player, just because I don't think my friends would be interested in it, playing it as in that way. But who knows? Maybe we will one day, and you might see it on the channel. Next up is a game which is very interesting to me, and that's Second Sight. Very interesting game, another game where you use psychic powers. I really like that concept, and I think it works for a lot of games like Psyops, the Mindgate Conspiracy, for example. But really looks interesting. My brother's talked about this a lot. He really enjoyed it, so hopefully going to be a really good game. Next up, we've got a game which is very unique in itself because of its controller, and that, of course, is Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Obviously, you've got to have the bongos to play this to get the full full kind of experience, if you ask me. Really fun, really loved it, really loved the idea behind it. Haven't played Donkey Konga, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get it just because I'm not 100% convinced that it's a game that I'll be interested in. But let me know in the comment section below if you've played Donkey Konga and if you think it's a must-own, especially if you're going to use these. Next up is Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. Now, it does sound like... Some people would say it sounds like a budget title, but at the same time, you know, it's published by Sega or Sonic Team. You know, and a lot of games at this time, people kind of and ahhing about, are they really that good? Just on the basis of stuff like the Sonic Adventures not being the most amazing Sonic games. But it really looks interesting, you know, using the egg to solve puzzles and used for attacks and stuff like that. Like, looking at the gameplay, it does look really fun, so I'm going to have a blast with this, I'm sure. Next up is Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Now, I have played this before. I think it was on the PS2 a long time ago. It's definitely not the best Star Wars game by any means, but it looks fun enough to play it. And it's very different, obviously, because you're playing as Jango Fett. You know, you're playing as a bounty hunter versus most of the time, you know, Star Wars games, you're playing as the good guys, or about you know, taking a dark route. So this is definitely a very interesting concept. Next, we've got Wario World. Now, this will probably be the first Wario World game that I play. I know there's quite a few Wario games out there, and I need to do more research on them just to see if I really want to play them or not. But this game looks really fantastic. I love the 3D adventures type style of it. I love just everything about it. I love the gameplay. I love the idea of playing as someone from the Mario world. Is definitely very different, and especially in this setting versus like side-scrolling adventure. Next, we've got Beautiful Joe, and again, a very interesting game, cel-shaded again. Very interesting game, to say the least. Love the idea by it. Love the concept. The only thing I don't like about this game, after like looking at gameplay and stuff, is that apparently on the first level or something, you have to go from start to finish, and you can only save after that. So, like, obviously, if you fail like 3/4 in, you have to go back to the very start of the level, which is very annoying. But hopefully, you know, that won't have an impact on me. Next up, we've got Pikmin. Definitely not the kind of game I would have picked a very long time ago, but I'm very open-minded now. I really like the idea of any sort of games nowadays. So looking at Pikmin, it looks like a very exciting game to play. Very interesting. Definitely a like top tier game on a lot of people's lists. So really exciting. Next, we've got Tak and the Power of Juju. I know there's I think there's 3 or 4 games in this series. But again, really interesting game, considered the best platform game of 2003, which is interesting. So definitely looks interesting. Playing in a chicken suit, apparently, very interesting things. Smashing up things on a rhino. Ooh, does that sound familiar? Donkey Kong, anyone? So yeah, very interesting. Next up, we've got the follow-ups to Rogue Squadron on the N64, which is Rebel Strike and Rogue Leader. I have played this, but I think what I'm going to do, I haven't completed it, but what I'm going to do is when I play Rogue Squadron, and then when I get onto playing this, I'm going to do what I've done with a lot of the other games and delete the data, so I can start from scratch, just so it feels like a much better experience than starting like a few levels in. Voice crack. Rebel Strike, it did kind of go away from this one and the other one in the sense that it goes to like you playing as Luke and stuff, but it wasn't, I don't think they executed it very well from what I understand. But overall, I'm going to enjoy these, you know, another great Star Wars game. Next, we've got TY, the Tasmanian Tiger. Again, I really find it interesting how on the back of like Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that, you've got so many like Cow the Kangaroo and TY, the Tasmanian Tiger, and then there's obviously Cow, like I said. Just so many like different incarnations of kind of building upon that. You know, after playing Crash Twinsanity, like Jak and Daxter, the first one felt very much like it. And looking at gameplay for this, again, it does kind of remind you of those kind of platformers and stuff like that. But you know, looking at it again, just another interesting game to come out. Again, just something I really hope to enjoy. Next up is a game that's quite unique, and that is Beyond Good and Evil. Again, like, it's a game that I don't actually know a lot about. You know, I look on the back and it says, you know, expose the conspiracy, capture the truth. So you're a rebellious action reporter. And it's like, oh, looking at like dark secrets and stuff like that. And it says a stylized, extremely gorgeous third-person action adventure. It's Zelda for grown-ups, according to IGN. So I may not have played a Zelda game, but I definitely do intend to very soon. So watch that space for a different video. But really happy with this. Next, we've got another iconic game, and that is Metroid Prime. Again, not played a Metroid game yet. I think I'm going to start with Super Metroid on the NES, Super Nintendo. I say that, but obviously it's quite a more expensive game to get. So I might start with this one and then just backtrack. But although saying that as well, there's also Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission. So who knows? Maybe we'll get on with those. Maybe we won't. It just depends on like what I decide to get first. But you know, a very iconic first-person shooter, a real gem in its collection. So really looking forward to that. Next game is Resident Evil 0. Now this is very interesting, considering it's obviously a prequel, so it's obviously based before the events of the first one. So, which is really interesting. But yeah, I really like the idea behind this. Obviously you switch between characters. And that's really interesting as well when you think about it, because obviously you've got to keep an eye on that, so it's even more survival, because it's not just you relying on resources to help you survive, it's, you know, keeping both characters alive. So I think that's a very unique thing to have in a Resident Evil game, and yeah, really looking forward to playing this. The last game is a game that's very interesting, well, to me anyway, and that is Product Number 3. Now this game, what can you consider it to be? I suppose it's you know, it's like a hack and slash. It's like a 3D adventurous type game. Kind of mixed reviews. Didn't kind of come up as very, you know, amazing in that respect. But again, it all comes down to the person's preference, and I kind of believe that this is very, very cool. We're really going to enjoy playing this, I'm sure. Looking at the gameplay, it's definitely my kind of game. I love a good hack and slash game. So yeah, really cool. So that is my GameCube collection, guys. Obviously, the only two games that I didn't show were Luigi's Mansion, which is obviously is on my current playthrough, and The Incredibles, which I've just picked out for my new playthrough, which is on my newest video. If you haven't watched that yet, go check it out. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash that thumbs up button. It really helps, and I really appreciate it. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, just click that subscribe button. And don't forget to turn the notification bell on to make sure you know when my videos have come out. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching and subscribing. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. And until the next video, guys, as always, take care of yourselves.